Reet and Rituals duo competitive game always starts at Creaky Compound, which is one of the better POIs on the map. Reet and Rituals both land on the south side of Creaky and prioritise going directly to the slurp truck for full shield. Once they break the slurp truck, Reet rotates over to the west side and prioritises claiming the POI. As Reet is claiming the POI, he goes around breaking all the objects around him for extra mats, making sure not to go outside the circle. While Reet is claiming the POI, Rituals continues to loot the south side of Creaky and starts to harvest some materials. Once both of them have completed looting their areas, they both rotate up onto this raised campsite. While on the raised campsite, they gather information about where other players are. They then rotate to gather more materials and search for more players. While Rituals is gathering more materials, he spots a player and tags him, while Reet flanks around the player and tags him some more. While Reet was gathering materials, Rituals went to high ground and built a box so they could look for storm surge tags. Once Reet comes up the high ground, they switch and Rituals goes down to gather more materials. By 6 minutes into the game, both of them have nearly max mats, 6 minis and 3 big pots. This is because they didn't need to waste any due to the slurp truck. Since they didn't waste any shield, they can afford to waste some by looking for surge tags. Now that both of them have max mats, they both look for storm surge tags until the storm circle rotates away. One thing Reet and Rituals did after getting tagged was not using too many shields. This is because on their rotate they can use the shield pod plans. Using these plans saved them at least 2 big pods. Another key mechanic a lot of pros including Reet and Rituals used is mudsliding, which is where you spam crouch and you slide much faster while gaining momentum. Mudsliding helps you rotate much quicker and is why they were able to claim this cache before anyone else. Both of them box up in 2 separate boxes away from each other. This is because it helps them find more tags and players. Since there is no mobility this season, flare guns have become much more important. This is because they help you gather information about players around you. In this case, since Rituals used a flare gun which located Elsa and AV Silver, Reet was able to gather some wood and crack AV Silver, which increased their surge tag by a lot. Once the cache was fully claimed, Reet and Rituals' loot became much better, since they now had purple havocs and slurp juices. They then spent the rest of the mid-game looking for tags and increasing their surge. When the loot island spawned in, they were constantly looking for people to tag. This is because the loot island, if claimed, gives the team 15 points, so a lot of teams were contesting it. When Fish Zone emerged, it was a far southwest pulling zone, and so they had to rotate a long way. When they did finally rotate, Fish Zone had nearly started coming in. They decided to wait this long though so they could use other players' builds around them, and rotate without any stress or other people contesting them. Something that I don't see many people doing is not being afraid of the storm. A lot of people don't want to take storm damage or are afraid of storm sickness, but Reet and Ritual aren't. Because Reet and Rituals allow themselves to take storm damage, they were able to rotate and box up in a better spot in zone. When next zone appeared, instead of early rotating into it, they decided to stay back and gather information. After a while they do decide that it's time to rotate, and start to. As they rotate, they hear the sound of a rift opening and look back. Reet ends up eliminating 37 out of the sky, giving them extra mats to rotate with. Rituals takes advantage of this and pre-types a medal into the circle. After he types in, he goes back and refreshes his mats. Once they are in circle, they notice the fight and want to try and get a free elim or 2. They end up getting an elim on an already knocked Elsa that AV Silver gets away, but they still get the mat refresh. As the circle closes in, Reet decides to use the extra mats by building up so he can look for an extra elim with Rituals. When the next circle is shown, Reet and Rituals decide to rotate early, so they can get the height fast without wasting too many mats. When they get on height, they apply pressure to everyone, making sure no one else can get on height. When Reet gets cracked on height, he first goes to pop a slurp juice but stops because he realizes he has 3 big pots. There is no point using a slurp when you can just use a big one instead. As soon as the next zone is shown, Rituals decides to rotate straight away. This is because if he didn't rotate, someone else would crank up and take height away from him. Every time the next zone is shown, Rituals is sprinting and placing builds so he can be at the front of the zone. He's also making sure he's connected to low ground so he can't be shot. During 9th zone, Frets and Booger try to take height, but Reet and Rituals apply pressure to stop them from taking him. At some point, Reet got the high-speed accelerated shotgun, which can break builds in one shot. This shotgun is very good for applying pressure, which Reet shows here. At this point, there is only 4 enemies remaining. All Reet and Rituals need to do is stay on high and apply pressure until they get eliminated. I hope this video has helped you understand the tactics and skills Reet and Rituals have used to win a cash cup.